Monkey. Tonight's show is Kevin So, and I'm going to sum it up real quick. This is going to be a really great show. Kevin So puts on an amazing show. His voice has been called angelic, it's been called powerful, it's been called every adjective to describe someone's voice that just penetrates you and just gets into your soul. It's so good. But the reason this show is real means a lot to me. Well, one of the reasons is I know Kevin. Kevin's from Boston. He's been in Nashville. He's been in Brooklyn. He's toured the world. But he's Boston's own. But I know Kevin from Boston, and I know Kevin from hanging out in all these venues, the open mics, to playing in the streets, going to each other's shows, hanging out, every Passim, the Somerville Theater, all the local venues, every venue you can imagine, and the late night hangs, and just all the fun we've had. And that's what we missed most about COVID. We really missed those kinds of connections. So tonight is a special show. You're in for a treat. I bet you know that already. I'm done with the old pre-show countdown thing. Hey, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, jump freeze. Kevin So, yo.
What's going on, you guys? Thanks, Tom, for that beautiful intro. Great to be back in Massachusetts. And let's get things started. A little reverb. Hello, hello, hello. Cool. Planted a garden in the fertile ground of my dreams. Every seed grew up to be a true reflection of me. Now the rain is come and gone, the field is ripe for the harvest. While the sun shines down on me, gonna do what I promised. It's time to share the fruits of my labor. Come sit at the table, it's more than enough. Time to share the fruits of my labor. I'm feeling grateful to do what I love. Do what I love. My mother and father and the ones who came before all had their stories about poverty and war. Down to one last loaf of bread, they share it with a neighbor. What you give is what you get, and I'm returning the favor. It's time to share the fruits of my labor. Sit at the table, it's more than enough. Time to share the fruits of my labor. I'm feeling grateful to do what I love. Count the stars at night when I hold my love at tight. Wake so amazed to greet another day. When I see a flower bloom, sunlight dancing across my room, wouldn't want to live my life any other way. It's time to share the fruits of my labor. Sit at the table is more than enough. It's time to share the fruits of my labor. I'm feeling grateful to do what I love. It's time to share the fruits of my labor. Sit at the table, more than enough. It's time to share the fruits of my labor. It's what it was made for. There'll be no empty cup. It's time to share the fruits of my labor. Sit at the table, more than enough. Yeah, time to share the fruits of my labor. I'm feeling grateful to do what I love. Oh. It's when you need a band. Yeah. Whoa. It's time to share the fruits of my labor. Sit at the table. It's more than enough. Ooh, yeah. Time to share the fruits of my labor. I'm feeling grateful to do what I love. Do what I
Woo! What's going on, sir?
Good times.
Talk to me. How you doing?
I'm good. What's going on, Ross? What's going on, Mary Ellen, Alice?
Yeah,
Cool.
we got
People
some
watching. That's
we
good.
got
We
some
got some
friends
people.
jumping in. Got a lot of
Appreciate it.
viewers tonight.
Man, I'm doing great. Had that little bit of break. You know, I had about like an hour and a half before I went on, and just kind of decompressed a little bit. Just had a busy day, but what else is you try to keep yourself busy.
All right, the
Try to be productive. Yeah.
first and foremost, I got to ask the important
Yeah.
question, the question that's on everybody's mind. How is Monk?
Monk is he's doing all right.
Is
He's
Monk
good.
eating up the quarantine? Is Monk like, Dad's been around every day, all the
Yeah.
time.
He loves
Dad's
it.
always here.
He loves it. He is loving it. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, he loves it. I like to think he does. I love it. I'm enjoying it. I love that I get to spend time with him all the time, and you know, um, there's enough space here, so that's good. You know what I mean? And then I don't.
Is
I
there a
don't
sense of it's great to have this kind of break after such a career of touring and traveling, but at the same time, like just a yearning to get back to it? You know what I'm saying? Are you just like what's the scale? It's like, man, it's nice to have this much time,
Yeah.
but I'm really missing this thing.
I've been easing out of it in a way. It's always been a balance that I've learned. I guess in the last 10 years of just kind of like, um, traveling, of course, is a necessity when this is what you do. And I remember when I was working with Mo, that was a job, and so it was. I had no choice. Like we had to go on the road, and that was probably like boot camp for me. I thought I traveled a lot, and then when I was on tour with him, that was real traveling, like
Wow.
flying. Yeah, we were on. It was like 8 to 9 months of that year, and we were. When I was home, I'd be home for 2 weeks, and then we were on because he hadn't toured in like 5 years, so he came back with a vengeance. He's like he kind of went under the radar for 5 years and went through all kinds of different things, changed management, and so when he came back, he was booked everywhere, and I was lucky to be, of course, on that tour, and
Mm.
but we worked, and so when I got off of that. Even though I'd been seasoned, certainly to just like figure out, okay, what do I do when I get to a hotel room and, how much time, but that was serious boot camp for me. And when I got off of that and then getting back to doing my own thing, um, it was it was kind of like getting back onto that bike. And that world had always been about making a record, disappearing sort of a little bit from the public eye, and
Mm.
trying to be normal, having a normal life,
Mm.
even though you're working on a record.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you got to try to get some gigs that, of course, pay your bills. So at the time, it was college gigs. It was Asian American shows and things like that. I mean, I've kind of gone through different, I guess you'd say, genres. I was in the folk world for so long, but then I kind of fell out of it, and then got back in for just a minute. And then,
Mm.
in a way, like being in Nashville, I completely fell out of it. I was kind of dabbling in it, but I was I don't know if I'd say I was in even the folk world when I was living in Nashville, but I played a lot of venues that folk artists played in, like down in Florida or, Eddie's Attic.
Right.
But like, I think the adjustment is, obviously I'm home a lot more than I have. I mean, to answer your question, yeah, it's definitely an adjustment because I could always know that, like, say, every 2 months I'd be somewhere else. I'd always have my suitcase. It goes in spurts. Like you tour really hard. At least that was my
Well,
agenda.
yeah, you said
Tour
that's
really
funny
hard.
when you said that you toured and then you toured like you didn't even like, and then you toured with Kemo and you toured a lot. Like in my mind, you toured a lot already
I
before
know.
Kemo. Like I remember when we were,
Yeah.
we were kids,
Right.
for a lack of a better way to put it. You would,
Yeah.
before the internet, you would hand me these postcards and they have so many
Right.
dates on them, and I was kind of aspiring to be that guy. I was like, oh, this is amazing what Kevin
Yeah.
Zo's doing. And to me, it's mind blowing that you thought there's another level of being
Well,
out there that much.
here's the thing. What I mean is I looked at that schedule. Yeah, I remember sending out all those flyers and I always wanted to get like 20 shows a month. It was the goal, right? You get like 2 or 3. If you get 2 or 3 every weekend, that's 8, 10, 8 to 10. And then you fill in the Wednesday, Thursday per
Mm-hmm.
week. And then there you go. You get like 20 gigs a month. But then when I was playing with Kev, he was playing 15 to 20 shows a month. And, he obviously doesn't have to do the booking. And
Right.
therefore, I don't have to do the booking. And I could just, but the traveling, that's what it was for me, was like flying and
Mm.
going everywhere. And that was, I think that was the difference. And also, there's pluses and minuses. Like, yeah, you're working under a boss, and when you got to get back on. I mean, I remember playing at Somerville, and I wasn't able to see you guys.
Yeah, I was at that show.
Because we were gone. We had to leave that
Yep.
night, and I still regret like not seeing you guys because I went to, my mom was there, and then and then I had to make sure she was safely home, and then it was like we were on the bus, and you can't hang out, and then you're
Mhm.
gone.
Yeah, there he is. It's TV time for Monk. What? Man, it's good.
I have to, like, here, hold on.
Oh yeah, go get him. It's amazing.
Wow.
That he's on. Here we come. Hey, TV time for Monk.
Here we go.
Oh,
Yeah, Monk. You want to sing for these guys?
we could.
Monk.
Oh,
Woo! You want to sing? Monk, sing! Woo, woo, woo! Can you sing for everybody? Sing! Woo, 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 woo,
We had a sound check the other day, and he wouldn't do it. He was like, "It's not time." Monk. All right, yay, Monk. We tried to get Monk to do this day before yesterday. Kevin and I were doing a sound check, and we were doing it, and he's just looking at us like, "Nah, not today.
Not
Saving
today.
it for Friday.
Saving it for tonight.
Bark no, bark back." And he even was like, "I'm out of here."
Yeah, he was out. He was gone. All right, Mark, we're gonna set you down.
What do you say, man? Let's. I'm gonna get out of your way and play some songs. I'm not gonna make any requests, but if you do play "Brighter Day," I wouldn't be crushed. That song's gotten me through a few days of COVID here and there. I love that song with its extra measure and its extra beat and its crazy timing and it's fun and it's so uplifting. But I love all your songs, man. We've been hanging for a long time. It's really a pleasure to have you tonight. Thanks for doing this.
Thanks for having me. Of course, I got to walk the dog. I got to take him outside real quick. But no, I mean, I'll hang out here. I'm gonna let him out the back and then.
I think
Hold
you're
on.
with friends and family here. You got, Go ahead. You do what you got to do.
There you go. Here.
This is the COVID world. We have the priorities we have to have, and that's that, man.
Hold on.
Oh, that's amazing. That's great. That's really great.
All right, hopefully he doesn't get eaten by a fox out there. Let's see.
Oh, don't.
No, we can. I can kind of keep an eye on him. Let's see. Behind the scenes. See it there. It's like a reflection of.
Listen, man. It's let Monk. We got time. We're good.
We're all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't expect this, but let's say hi to some people here. We got Mary Ellen's here. Ross, Alice. Hey, Randy. What's going on, George? Fantastic.
Now is a good time if you've got your requests. Throw them up in the chat because the show.
Yeah. I know some people email me, and I appreciate. Let's get the dog back inside, and then I can get moving some music here.
Absolutely.
I'm excited to play. Hold on a second. Here. Come on, buddy.
This is the world we live in. This happens on major network TV. There'll be people doing a show, given the weather, and dogs and children and people walk in. It's amazing. This is our world.
All right.
Make the best of it while we have to, and hopefully it won't last too much longer. All right, Monk. Give it up for Monk.
All right. One more thing. Hold on a second.
I'm gonna cut to my house for a second. I got a new plant. Look at the palm. Isn't that cool? I don't have a dog because I'm allergic, but I have plants. I'm all about plants these days. Oh, that's funny.
I'll be right there, Tom. Hold on a second.
Yeah, you got to know what. Don't worry about it, man. JCC. What is that? An acronym for one of Kevin's songs that I probably know, but I'm not getting. All kinds of folks are saying hi. Diana said hi, but I can't put it on the screen because the emoji, it won't let me do it. But
All right.
hey, Kev, what's JCC? What song is that?
June Carter Cash.
Oh, of course.
June Carter Cash.
Oh, last night I was watching. I just got to flipping channels and I saw this movie with what's it called? Stagecoach. You ever see that movie? I had no idea it existed. It's Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson, Johnny Cash, and June Carter Cash has a little role in it too. And I just thought to myself, how beautiful is that? And I thought of your song when I saw it because it's like they're so Johnny Cash and June Carter Cash are so embedded with each other. Like, oh, I'm doing a movie. Well, as long as my wife plays a part in it, I'll star in your movie. And what an amazing couple.
Man. Yeah. I've heard of that movie, but a friend of mine, we were just talking about that movie, Heartworm Highways, which has it doesn't have those guys, but it's like Towns Van Zandt, Steve Irwin, a few of those, a lot of those
Catching up on our movies during COVID.
Americana legends and stuff. But yeah, man.
I'm gonna get out of your way, Kevin.
Hey.
Thanks for doing this, man.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks
I love
for
you.
indulging me with the dog and all that good stuff.
It's awesome, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's so human. It's so beautiful. Thank you, man.
Thank you. All right. All right, we got the guitar here. We're back. This was by request, so I'm going to try to do as many as I can, although I had some other songs planned, but I'll be a vodka drunk possum if you'll be my Tammy Wynette. I'll be a fancy footed yokum if you'll be my Royal Reba Mac. You'll be my Emma Lou, and I can be a Graham who sings at your Sin City Bash. I'll be a boy named Sue Johnny if you'll be my June Carter Cash. I'll be a pocket full of gold, Vinny, if you'll be my $1 million grant. You'll be my bluegrass angel alley. I'll be your rock and roll plant. In my own peculiar way, I can be Willie if you slip me the right kind of stash. I'll be your Ring of Fire Johnny if you'll be my June Carter Cash. I can be a gun-toting Toby. You can be my redneck Gretchen girl. Or I can be some Okie from Muskogee. You sure make a fine Mrs. Merle. You can play young Faith Hill, single still on the pill. I'll turn to 10 in a flash. I'll be a walk the line Johnny. You'll be my June Carter Cash. You can dress like a working 9-to-5 dolly. I'll write you your first #1 smash. I'll be walk the line Johnny, man in black Johnny. You'll be my June Carter Cash. I'll be an Orange Blossom, Folsom Prison, and San Quentin. Duet with Dylan, final album with Rick Rubin Johnny. If you'll be my June Carter Cash. My June Carter Cash. My June Carter Cash. My June Carter Cash. My June Carter Cash, yeah. My June Carter Cash, yeah. My June Carter Cash. Carter Cash. Yeah, my June Carter Cash. Yeah. Thank you so much for the requests. Let's see. What's up, Ross? PVPA. Man, that goes way back. Pioneer Valley Performing Arts Center. I think that's what it was. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, we have some requests here, but I want to get to my set list a little bit. I see those requests though. Thank you, Ed. We got Ed all the way in Missouri. Hold on a second. Let's get to some other things here. Okay. I want to get to some of these songs here. Oh boy, we got all these things going on. Let's make sure I don't get. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. For years now, I've been struggling. All the pushing, all the shoving. Maybe I'm just pushing it too hard. I should sit back and wait and leave it up to fate. 'Cause maybe there's something different written in the cards. Maybe there's something different. Maybe it's meant to be. Maybe there's something different from what I dream. From what I dreamed. For years now, I've been playing this musician I'm portraying, hoping that one day I'll be a star. I should relax, not worry. Take a deep breath on this journey, 'cause maybe there's something different written in the cards. Maybe there's something different. Maybe it's meant to be. Maybe there's something different from what I dream. I don't know what it is, but I know it's gonna be alright. 'Cause this highway's got 5 lanes and I'm ready to drive all night. As I watch the sun set slowly, I remember what a friend once told me. Where you should be is exactly where you are. Forget about the place you may be going. Forget about the chances you've been blowing. Oh, 'cause maybe there's something different written in the cards. Maybe there's something different. Maybe it's meant to be. Maybe there's something different from what I dream. Oh, maybe there's something different. Maybe it's meant Maybe there's something different from what I dream.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Hey, Daniel just asked me what guitar that is.
This guitar is a, I think it's like an early 60s LG1. Yeah. It's a Gibson. That's a compliment I take it as. That's a good. If someone's asking what kind of guitar that is, that's good.
Well, you and Danielle used to live in the same apartment, so she knows a lot of those guitars.
Yeah.
So she was like, I don't remember that one. What's that one?
Yeah. I picked this up in Nashville at Nashville New and Used. I was lucky. It came in, it had no price tag on it. Like it just came in the store. So I got lucky. I was like, and it was the right price. And I jumped on it. I made him an offer he couldn't refuse. Also, that was a bad. I'm not good at Italian impersonations. Yeah. I remember she still got that J45. I'm still looking for a J45, man. I just haven't, I remember the day I saw that guitar with Danielle. I said, if you don't get that guitar, I'm going to buy it myself. And she went and bought the guitar. She went. She knew. There it is. At our beloved Cambridge Music Center. R.I.P. I remember, man. I remember seeing that, and then still looking for a guitar like that. But that's all good. This guitar is. Oh yeah, I hear you, Ed. It's on the list. Thank you so much for the request. Say hey to people I don't know. Hi, Diana. What's going on? Sean Taylor in the house, all the way from Connecticut. Yes, Mary Ellen, Alice, George, New York, or Jersey. Checking out the people, the chat. Okay. This one. All right. Need my cheat sheet just in case. It's like this lyric. Yeah, I always mess up on. Let's see. Just because my hair is a little longer, just because my skin is a little darker, just because my eyes are a little smaller, who are you to judge me? Just because my clothes are a little raggedy, just because my shoes are old and dirty, just because I live in this part of the city, who are you to judge me? Just because your father is a chauvinist, just because your mother may be prejudiced, just because your best friend is an atheist, who am I to judge you? I see a white man in the middle, black man left, and a yellow man right. Though they are three strong individuals, they stand stronger side by side. They stand stronger side by side. Just because I eat red meat and drink whiskey, just because I smoke a dope and nicotine, just because I watch hardcore pornography, who are you to judge me? Just because I'm only in my 40s, just because I wasn't around in the 60s, just because I had my fun in the 90s, who are you to judge me? Just because you drive a red Ferrari, just because you hate to ride the subway, just because on weekends you fly to Chile, who am I to judge you? You know the chorus. Help me sing it. I see a white man in the middle, black man left, and a yellow man right. Though they are three strong individuals, they'll stand stronger side by side. I see a white man in the middle, black man left, and a yellow man right. Though they are three strong individuals, they'll stand stronger side by side. They stand stronger side by side. Stronger side by side. Even if you come from a foreign country, even if you're raised by a royal family, even if your grandma does your laundry, even if you earn a six-figure salary, even if you're serving the first months of your presidency, even if you're still trying to establish democracy, even if you worship every Hollywood celebrity, even if you can't stop watching TV reality, even if you're having short-term memory, who am I to judge you? Who are you to judge me? I don't have to like you. You don't have to like me. I can just ignore you. You can just ignore me. Or I can put my arms around you. Put your arms around me. I see a white man in the middle, black man left, and a yellow man right. Though they are three strong individuals, they'll stand stronger side by side. I see a white man in the middle, black man left, and a yellow man right. They are three strong individuals, they'll stand stronger side by side. They stand stronger side by side. Stronger side by side. Wow. Thank you. Thanks, Tom. Okay, we're gonna do a request. Let's do some requests. Let's see here. Let's get on the piano because somebody wanted to hear this. Aha. All right. Okay, we're here on the piano. Okay, this goes out to Ed. He wanted to hear this song. This song is called Krista. Thanks so much for your request, Ed. This one goes back to 1997 album I did called Individual which was the last song I just did, title track. So this one, going back, it was originally recorded on a guitar, and then I started playing it on the piano at my live shows, and then put out a live version of it on a CD called So Must Go On, a live CD. And this was my most downloaded song for a while on iTunes. So that's cool. Gotta play this. Gotta play the hits. Get up in the morning, Krista, she is yawning. Bagels on the counter, think I'll make her a cup of tea. She's mumbling and she's giggling, wonder what she's thinking. Wake her in an hour, then I'll ask her what it means to be traveling alone, places never gone. People are just as kind here as in Memphis, Tennessee. Gotta drive through Arizona, this highway is my home. Southern California, got a friend who waits for me. We're heading to the city, Krista's getting ready with matching jeans and t-shirts. We're gonna set this world on fire. Cruising with the top down, nothing but sky around. A strong long-term companion, that's what this pretty girl desires when she's traveling alone, places never gone. People are just as kind here as in Memphis, Tennessee. Gotta drive through Arizona, this highway is my home. Southern California, got a friend who waits for me. Oh, looks like a beautiful night. Up on that roof, got a rock band playing. We can talk about the meaning of life, the meaning of life. But you're leaving tomorrow morning. La, 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 la. Before the day's finished, we're splitting ourselves again. Yes, we'll browse the tattoo parlors. I'll get a vintage pair of pants, dropping off a postcards sent straight from the Lone Star. As we ride this roller coaster, I don't want this ride to ever end, 'cause I'll be traveling alone, places never gone. People are just as kind here as in Memphis, Tennessee. I gotta drive through Arizona. This highway is my home. Southern California, I got a friend who waits for me. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Traveling alone, places never gone. People are just as kind here as in Memphis, Tennessee. Gotta drive through Arizona. This highway is my home. Southern California, I got a friend who waits for me.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
Hey,
Gorgeous, man.
thank you. Thank you so much. One quick second. My dog he's getting old, so he needs a little lift up to the couch. Hold on a second, guys.
How beautiful is that? That's like, I'm in the middle of a show, but I got to take care of my dog.
Yeah,
It's just the way it is.
Of course.
It's a lesser human would be like, you're on the floor for now. I'm in the middle of a show, buddy. But no, you're like, hey, man. Yeah, all right. Finish my song. Pick the dog up. Give him a nice spot on a couch.
Oh yeah, he's got it. It's good.
Priorities, man. Priorities.
Here. Let's see here. We go. How you doing? How you doing?
Talking to me?
Yeah, Tom. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for again. Thanks for having me here. Inviting me. Let's see the chat. We got some chats. Thank you so much for donating. Guitar maker. All right. Here we go. Here. I make half of what I take. They take half of what I make. That's the system. That's the system. I make half of what I take. They take half of what I made. That's the system. That's the system. Richard Pryor always says, keep some sunshine on your face. So I listen. All my straight lines are getting curled. Always something in this world that I'm missing. That I'm missing. my dreams. I don't ride in a limousine, but I break even. I break even. Politicians promise change, longer distance, wider range, but within reason. Within reason, I make half of what I take. They take half of what I make. That's the system. That's the system. I make half of what I take. If they take half of what I make, that's the system. That's the system. Go Las Vegas ain't my thing. I can shake it like the king. Make my millions. Make my millions. Then spend the next 5 years in court. Just like many stars before. That's the way it still is. Life in showbiz. I make half of what I take. They take half of what I make. But that's the system. That's the system. I make half of what I take. They take half of what I make. But that's the system. That's the system. Repeat after me. That's the system. 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 Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, let's move on. Please. Thank you so much. Please play Porn Star. Okay. We could do that. Maybe. Yeah, we could do that. I'll give you a little bit of it. No. Not yet. Give me let me find the right spot for it. Let's see here. Okay. Go back to the piano. Okay. Yeah. Thank you all so much for listening. Yeah. Okay. All right. This is another song from the latest record, Soul. Speaking of universal language, and this goes out to all those of you who are having a tough time during this pandemic and during this lockdown. I know I've had many day and night coping with solitude and coping with where's the light at the end of the tunnel, you know what I mean? And those feelings of um, gratitude really is just a way of coping with it, just to be, still here, um, still on this planet, still having a support system, still knowing that there are friends out there who care about me, and there are still friends that I care about in return. And I'm not sure how you guys are coping with it. Grateful for music too, of course. So this is called "I Got Angels." Not gonna give up, not gonna slow down, not gonna play rough. I wanna stick around, 'cause I'm not alone here. There is nothing to fear. I got angels, I got angels. Don't wanna lose you. You've been a good friend, supporting what I do, no matter how different. Shown in the right light, the way up won't fade from sight. Got angels, I got angels, angels watching over me, angels I don't always see. All I know, wherever I go, I got reasons to believe. I got angels. I might feel I'm losing ground, can't keep chipping away, but there they are, keeping this ball in play. My heart is broken, I'm gonna bounce back. I need a moment to find out what I have. There'll be a strong hand to lift me up again. I got angels, I got angels, angels watching over me, yeah. Angels I don't always see. All I know, wherever I go, I got reasons to believe. I got angels, I got angels. I know, I got angels. Oh, yeah, I got angels.
Ooh. Oh.
Hey, thanks. Gonna do another song.
Hey, Kev, have you been doing a lot of these shows, these online shows?
Huh?
Have you been doing a lot of these online shows?
I don't know what's a lot.
I don't know.
I've done like once a month, maybe. I
Hmm.
skipped a couple months. I did one like in early August. A friend of mine, Auburn, she's been doing these. She was doing the Stay Home Fest. She's based in Nashville, and she had a bunch of artists, around the clock, starting at 10 o'clock in the morning and going through up to about midnight. And she
Wow.
artists.
Wow.
She scheduled all these artists all around the country. A lot of her friends, Nashville, and she's been doing a Wednesday online show for at least a couple of years now. She's
Oh, wow.
one of the hardest working.
So she was ready to do online shows like before, not even because of COVID. She was
Yeah,
already
she was
doing
doing
it.
this. Yeah, she was doing
Hmm.
a live stream thing every Wednesday. She calls it Songversation, and then
Hmm.
she was doing them split screen, kind of like where we're at now, and then but usually side by side before COVID, and then she'd have the artist.
Is
Right.
there anything you do when you do these shows to sort of like get yourself in the same headspace as you would be on stage in front of people?
Yeah, I think just having when you're setting up, even moving things around when you're sound checking, that kind of gets you into setup, anyways.
Hmm.
Having the screen and having people see you, it definitely is weird because you don't get the applause and you don't
Hmm.
get that kind of energy unless it's a Zoom thing, which I've never done. I would love to do that. It would be great to be able to hear
Yeah.
the people in the chat, right? But maybe I think that you can do that these days, but one day.
Yeah, I got myself a Zoom account, and in the very
Yeah.
beginning of COVID, I did a show or two like that. And
Mhm.
my goal was to do more shows, and it's a little bit more labor intensive. So I started just doing it this way.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I can do that, and I do like that format. I'm trying. I've been doing this now. I mean, I guess that's my goal with this show is to make it a little bit more interactive because I've only asked friends to do it, folks that I know really well,
Yeah.
and I feel like this format is a little bit more. It's almost like a radio interview, trying to lean more into the music, of course, and the artist.
Yeah. It's like podcast.
It's like a podcast. Yeah,
It is a podcast in a way,
Yeah.
a visual podcast.
yeah. Cool, man. All right, I'm out of here. I'm
I like talking and hanging out, and I'm sure people don't mind.
gonna put myself in the
hanging out.
corner.
It's cool. I see you there. But keep on playing some music here. We're already at about an hour, and I'm about 2/3 of my way through the set. So somebody wanted to hear Porn Star. I'll play a little bit. So how's it go? So you want to be a porn star? You want to have sex with hot chicks? You want to drive a big fancy car, big enough for your big flick? So you want to be a porn star? You don't care what everyone thinks. Yeah, you want to be a porn star. 'Cause right now your life really stinks. Porn star. I want to be a porn star. Something like that. There you go. Some requests here. Yeah. Okay. It's another Greyhound station. I'm sitting here and waiting. There's country music playing in the background. Another place where I'm going to, some place where I know no one, but I have a good feeling about this town. I was born in a big city with big buildings and big chimneys, where the people are so busy they cannot smile. While my heart belongs to Texas and I'm miles from Massachusetts, I'm going to check out Memphis for a while. I got 5 days in Memphis, gonna see that home of Elvis, drink a toast for a Louis and hear some blues. I got 5 days in Memphis, waited a long time for this. 5 days in Memphis, dream come true. This bus is overcrowded, baseball hats and leather jackets, untied laces, unshaved faces on parole. There's a church for every sinner, there's the Mississippi River, there's a song for every prisoner, young and old. I got 5 days in Memphis, gonna see that home of Elvis, send a postcard to Las Vegas saying I miss you. I got 5 days in Memphis, waited a long time for this. 5 days in Memphis, dream come true. I'll leave some time to pay respects to Dr. Martin Luther, a silent prayer for what happened there at the Lorraine Motel. Jump in a cab, lay down the track at 706 Union. Cut a 45, maybe we'll invite the Reverend Al. I can't wait to walk down Beale Street, got my steel string, got my socket and a brand new 22-karat ring of gold. I can't wait to get to Memphis, my elbow hurts from this old armrest. I can't wait to get dropped off this endless road. I got 5 days in Memphis, gonna see that home of Elvis, drink a toast for a Louis and have some blues. I got 5 days in Memphis, waited a long time for this. 5 days in Memphis, dream come true. Dream come true. Dream come true. Yeah. It's another Greyhound station. I'm sitting here and waiting. There's country music playing in the background. We sailed across the water, so across the sky, walked across the western border, hearts and hopes held high. My father and his father, mother and her child, sought a place where they could live beyond the ocean wide. We went in search of our America, left home to look for our America, dreamed a dream of our America, came and made it our America, planted seeds in our America, raised the flag of our America, stood our ground in our America, became a native of America. My country, 'tis of thee, celebrate our legacy. Weave us in your tapestry, write a page in history. This is America, sweet land of liberty. La la la. La la la, la la. La la, la la. Fun, fun, fun. Okay, let's do this one there. Okay. Yeah. It's been a minute. I don't see. Passing, yeah. All right. That's right. Music conversation. Yeah. On that. Thanks for listening, you guys. Appreciate you being here. And supporting the cause, and just spending your Friday night with me. So yeah, cheers. I'm gonna do a song written by longtime friend Carl Cacho. It's a song I played for a long time, and recorded it. Had the honor of recording it on my live record along the way, and this is called "Save Me a Seat at the Bar." You ain't just another child on God's highway, trying to be true in this troubled world of sin, rambling down the road before my day. Tell your brother, know the places that you've been. So up in heaven, save me a seat at the bar. You bring your mandolin, I'll bring my guitar. We'll sing gospel till they close that place down, till that blue Kentucky moon comes back around. When I was just a boy, I heard the echo of your footsteps, listened to your songs, 'cause my eyes are full of doubt, and I never did forget when I was searching for salvation. Sometimes being lost is what living's all about. So up in heaven, save me a seat at the bar. You bring your mandolin, I'll bring my guitar. Or we'll sing gospel till they close that place down, till that blue Kentucky moon comes back around. Above the Blue Ridge Mountains, voices calling like the wind, oh, whispering through the pines like a long lost friend. Just like you, I've been cursed alone. All stray children get called back home. Up in heaven, save me a seat at the bar. You bring your mandolin, I'll bring my guitar. We'll sing gospel till they close that place down, till that blue Kentucky moon comes back around. Till that blue Kentucky moon comes back around. Till that blue Kentucky moon comes back around. All right. Get some energy back up in this mofo. Thanks so much for listening, for hanging out. Okay. Kind of rounding third right now, you guys. Got about 3 more songs. But I'm hanging out. I'm not going anywhere. Are you? But it's called Streets of Chinatown. First you say that I smoke too much, then you bitch that I'm out too late, then you claim that I'm out of touch with the kids and I never can finish my plate. Then you wonder why I'm in a rush to leave the house. Well, I give it to you straight. I get 6 days on, 1 day off, demo with my boys and hang by the gate. Can't keep me from going to Chinatown. It's a big part of who I am. I I was raised on the streets of Chinatown. It's the only place I understand. I can't describe to you how it feels to break from the pressure in the fast food world. Marching all night, have a nice meal. No drugs and there ain't no girls. But you want me at home, is that the deal? Slippers on my feet, my hair all permed, no dominoes, no spin in the wheel. Just you and me in a white suburb. Can't you move on going to Chinatown? It's a big part of who I am. I was raised on the streets of Chinatown. It's the only place I understand. You can't keep me from going to Chinatown. It's a big part of your old man. You can't stop me, I'll find my way around. I'll make it there, I'll be there. You can take the man out of Chinatown. You can't take Chinatown out of the man. Like a seed that's sown deep under the ground, like a weed that's being pulled by your head. God damn. I know that I smoke too much. I know that I'm out really. I know I've been out of touch. I know that life ain't great. I know that it's worrying you. I know that it's making you blue. But that's how it is, and that's what I do. I live here, but I live there too. You can't keep me from going to Chinatown. It's a big part of who I am. I was raised on the streets of Chinatown. It's the only place I understand. You can't keep me from going to Chinatown. It's a big part of your old man. You can't stop me, I'll find my way around. I'm gonna make it there, I'll be damned. I'm gonna make it there, I'll be damned. I'm gonna make it there, or I'll be, yeah. For you, y'all. I broke a pick for you. Look at that. On the last strum. Yeah. Rock and roll. Boom. On that last strum. There it is. See? Who wants this pick? Maybe we'll figure out a thing. Whoever wants this pick, we'll figure it out. Pick. eBay. Yeah. I'll keep it right here for you. Okay. Pick's right here. Maybe we'll donate it for charity for sure. Oh man, thanks you guys so much. Yeah, we are rounding third. Got time for a couple more songs. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, pretty mama, if you're feeling alone, why don't you come on over? Fix you something warmer, we can fry some chicken. Well, we can fry some chicken. Well, we can fry some chicken, liver, long skin and bone. Hey, pretty mama, if you're thirsty too, I got a big tall blender and a bottle of booze, and we can squeeze some lemons. Well, we can squeeze some lemons, and well, we can squeeze some lemons, then there'll be plenty of juice. Why don't you come on over? Why don't you come on over? Come on over. Why don't you come on over? Why don't you come on over? Why don't you come on over? I promise I'll take you home. Yeah. Let's dance. Let's do it one more time. Hey, pretty mama, did I hear you yawn? Are you falling asleep? Well, come over, come on, we can grind some coffee. Well, we can grind some coffee. Well, we can grind some coffee. 2 cups are better than one. Why don't you come on over? Why don't you come on over? Yeah. Why don't you come on over? Why don't you come on over? Why don't you come on over? I promise I'll take you home. Yeah. Why don't you come on over? I promise I'll take you home. Why don't you come on over? I promise I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take you home. Woo. Hey.
Woo! Yeah. Yeah. That's the part where everybody's standing up, going nuts. People are banging on glasses, holding lighters, screaming for more, getting their last drinks at the bar so they can pound it down to get it fired up for that last song.
Right. That's right. Thanks so much for having me here, Tom. Appreciate it. Yeah. Woo. rider's got for sure. That's fine, I'll make it through just like before. Was blind, not looking for the positive. I have some friends willing to give me help with any fear I'm facing. They say don't ever throw the towel in. No way, if music is your medicine. Okay, I need to hear it now and then, reminding me about the dream I'm chasing. The sun is shining and I'm on my way. Oh, the sun is shining and I'm on my way. I'm looking forward to a brighter day. And when it feels like your back is up against the ropes, hold tight, you ain't about to give up hope. Alright, you're not the flavor of the month, you don't have what some people want, you're not a juggler in the circus. Chin up, keep your eyes upon the prize. Life's rough, trying to cut you down to size. Takes guts, this dream you have, can't let it die. To me, clear blue sky is never perfect. The sun is shining and I'm on my way. Well, the sun is shining and I'm on my way. I'm looking forward to a brighter day. Dark clouds may roll on over, but they will not bring me down. I got angels looking over my shoulder and they're taking me to higher ground. Taking me to higher ground. Taking me to higher ground. I found the road to my recovery. Touchdown, I'm back in touch with what is me. New round, been through this bumpy uphill climb. I've had to jump in double time, turn on a dime and never lose it. This game of life that we all plan to win. There's no shame in feeding off adrenaline. Refrain from what could be the end of us. Besides, the finest drug is made of music. The sun is shining and I'm on my way. Oh, the sun is shining and I'm on my way. Oh, I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to a brighter. Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to a brighter day.
Woo! Thanks, man.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Thank you for a great show.
My pleasure. Thanks
All
for
right.
you know reaching out it's hope we could do this back at the burn
Yeah,
soon. you know.
it was the Burn show that you did was one of our last ones. It was, I think it was the second to last one. What was? Do you remember what date was exactly?
Is March 6th. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it was,
probably March 7th, March 8th. Did you do a Sunday night?
yeah, we did
Yeah.
we got shut down the following week, like midweek.
The 13th was the lockdown.
Yeah, yeah,
Week after my yeah. So
yeah. That's
and
and it's been this ever since, you know.
yeah, 10, 11 months. It's been
Yeah, it's a long time. It's a long time. We'll get back. We'll get
Oh,
back
yeah.
to it. I think, you know.
Yeah. It won't be the same again, but I'll be just be singing like this.
Yep.
I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward. Brighter day.
I had one show where I actually rehearsed for the show, and the show never happened. And it was like I was got hired to play bass for a Tom Petty cover band, and I rehearsed with those guys up in New Hampshire. And since I live here in Boston, Everett, Massachusetts, hotspot of COVID, and they live in the middle of nowhere, I was wearing a mask even though it was an outdoor rehearsal, and I had to sing some of these songs. And I man, the mask and singing, I was like, I'm like,
Yeah.
It's not easy to sing when you can't breathe in like big real quick. You're trained to take those quick big breaths.
Yeah, you don't wear glasses too. If I wear glasses like at the gym, they get fogged up.
You know what? I have a confession to make. I finally had to get my first pair.
Oh, there you go.
Of the reading glasses.
I need some. I probably need some. I'm getting nearsighted now, right? That's the term. Or is it farsighted?
I'm not.
It's hard to see stuff up close.
Right?
Yeah, I can't see stuff up close.
Yeah, whatever it is, I finally am like, oh, this is what it's like to read fine print. I forgot.
Yeah, I'm usually taking off my glasses to look at my phone.
Yeah,
it's probably not good, but say hi to some people here. Can I? What's up, Rick? Thank you so much, Rick. Out in Oak Park, Illinois. Andrew Chin, thank you. And
hey, Kevin, being somebody who's written so many, I guess, progressive songs, for lack of a better way to put it, and so politically minded.
Yeah.
What's the last 4 years been like for you, and what's the last month been like for you? How you feeling about things?
Wow. I mean,
good question, right?
Opening up a can of worms, right?
Yeah.
It's been pretty eye-opening for me. I'll just kind of, understanding as many perspectives as possible. I think that's the important thing, is to understand, because living in Nashville, and even here, I grew up around a lot of people that, as I became more politically aware, I guess you'd say, found out that they were Republicans, and understanding my own upbringing too. I grew up in the Reagan era, and my parents were, I think, registered Republicans. So I grew up not political, not affiliated with any party, and seeing it from both sides. I think people are always critical of. You'll always have criticism if you're a president from both sides.
Right.
And news outlets, any which way you choose, it's hard to find a non-biased outlet, because in a way they're out. They're trying, you know what I mean? Whether it's whether it's The Hill or Young Turks, or it's Tim Pool, who somebody I got introduced to. Have you heard of him?
Yes. Yeah.
So then there's like Kim Iverson. There are a lot of different people who call themselves progressives too. You know what I mean? And I think it's important to just kind of understand. But it's there's so much gray area. You know what I mean? There are things that I'm very conservative about, and then there are things I'm very liberal about. So I think it's so easy to get caught into the narrative of what is going on, right?
And it's easier than ever to get caught into the narrative because everybody's trying to get you into the narrative for the sake of being, uh, 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 for the sake of being
Mhm.
present on social media. People are trying to get you in, you know?
Yeah, I mean, without living in a bubble, in a way, I am living in a bubble, and I've been living in a bubble, working on my album and realizing that the best thing is, as corny as it is like the best thing I can do is immerse myself in my music and
Mm,
and and let the music do the talking because I'm just not I'm not good at, you know what I mean? You could just get into sticking your foot in your mouth, and I've
mm.
done that plenty of times, and I don't want to do that until I'm really informed. And even if I am informed, I don't answer unless I'm asked. And even
Mm.
if I am asked, I'm not sure if I'm going to answer because everybody kind of has their own individual agendas and their own beliefs and what they think. And how is it going to really affect my days? I mean, is someone going to pay my property tax? Is somebody else? I'm going to do it myself. I'm responsible for, as a citizen, I got to pay my taxes, and
Right.
I gotta live by the law. Um,
That's the system.
yeah, that's the system. Um, and have I been sensitive to whatever there is racism? But no one's attacked me, because I'm Chinese. No one's, um, I've worried about my family. I tell other Asian Americans that I know to be careful, watch your back. I watch mine.
Mm.
I do, but I've always been that way. I guess I've always been sort of paranoid about, but I've also in the last 4 to 5 years grown. I'd like to think I've grown as a person, understanding the laws of attraction and all that new age stuff. It's actually helped me a lot. I was trying to explain to a friend about be careful, like we are actually looking to be offended.
Yeah.
Right? There's a guy, some of the people I listen to, he talks about there are people out there who are actually looking to be offended. And I'm guilty as charged. I was one of those people who was like, where's the racism? Where's,
Sure.
and if you look hard enough, I'll find it. But so I learned not to look for it and try to focus on the beautiful, the good things, the positive things that are in my life. And I think if I look for those things, the more I'll get of it. Not that I'm living in a bubble. Again, I'm not, but at the same time, there's, you know what I mean? You have 24 hours in a day, and I have to choose my spots very carefully these days because I'm not getting any younger. None of us are.
Right.
Does that make sense? I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. I also think, going back a bunch of years when you're putting out a record like Individual,
Yeah.
and it's racism was everywhere. It was everywhere, but not like it is today with the social media where it's just like literally jammed down your throat. Like back then, you did kind of have to lift it up and point it out because folks were like, "No," I was like, before Rodney King, before video cameras took over and showed you, like, no, this is what you're missing. The cameras are on now.
Yeah.
Before the cameras are on, but now it's like you don't have to look very hard; it's there, and so it's almost like when you're writing an album like Individual, it's so
Well,
needed to be said. It's always needed to be said, but like really needed to be said. And now it's
right.
like, of course it needs to be said, but it's there. It's almost like it's not a matter of whether it's said or not. It's a matter of whether it's absorbing or not at this point.
It's easy for me to say, at least it was over the last 4 years, like, I told you so. That feeling of, I've been writing about it for years, and why do I need to write any more songs? I've written plenty of it. But then I'd like to think that the more developed person in me the more perspective, the more self-aware I've been, I've actually felt embarrassed and sort of ashamed of some of the things because I was so like hard-nosed about racism. And the other side of it is like, it's easy to go, I told you so. But at the same time, when you see this stuff that's coming at you from mainstream media or news or whatever, again, I have to take a step back because I got to go, whoa, there's an agenda at play. And I just don't want to, I guess I don't want to drink the Kool-Aid, The news to me is what I see in front of me right now. Like when I go out the door, the people I interact with, as corny as it is, let's keep it real. Like that's real. It's like I go to the post office today. I stood in line or I went to get my mail. No one attacked me. You know what I'm saying? The guy at the bank, I was, at the bank today and he's African-American and there was no, you know what I mean? It's like, how are you? I'm doing great. And so when I look back at the last, like say 20 years ago, people used to tell me, and there was an opportunity for me to learn and I did not quite get it. And that mood changes every day. Like somebody would say, I don't see you as Asian. I see you as Kevin. You understand? And like even just a couple years ago, I was pissed off and I carry that anger for years about like, I wish that person would see me as Asian. But instead I finally got it. Like, there's that moment of like, I understand what this person is trying to say. This person is trying to say to me that don't stick your identity as your race in front of you. That's not all you are. You're just Kevin as a guy I've known, like a guy from Boston I've known for a long time, who doesn't have an accent, who, you know what I'm saying? There are people, of course, who are going to do the ching chong chom thing, but I haven't heard that remark in a long time. So, and if I did hear it, that's just a stupid idiot. You know what I mean? That's one person. That's one bad apple. So there it is. It's like, I can't judge the whole, it's not like a broad stroke across everybody. And I think that's important to see, even like Black Lives Matter, those are things that it's a very touchy subject. And I don't want to, like that's something it's like a can of worms I don't want to open yet. It's like a one-on-one interaction because here we are talking amongst a lot of people and I don't want to stick my foot in my mouth. It's very complicated. That's all I can tell you. It's a lot of gray area, because I was just watching something today about like there's the African-American guy I was watching on YouTube. I watch him a lot and he was talking about how a lot of African-Americans, all right, let's put it this way. Like he was, and he's African, he's telling a lot of African-Americans are like saying that are blaming their own progress because of racism. Okay. Follow me here. And yet he said that 95% of the African Americans that he knows, like 95% of the stuff they listen to, music, culture, whatever, is African American. Whether it's Beyonce or Kanye West, or let's stick to music, right? But those African Americans are successful. It didn't hold them back. And they're listening to that music. They love that music. It's like somebody like me who could say, "Oh, I'm Asian and I didn't because of I haven't made this," but you have people like John Cho, you have people like Andrew Yang now, and you have people like Bruce Lee, right? Who overcame those obstacles. And, regardless of the racism he faced, he still made it. He overcame. And it's like the easier thing. I'm trying not to go take the easier path. I think that's what I'm trying to say. The harder path is always the path that it's like, it's easy not to see it because you don't want to take the harder path. You want to take the easy path.
Mm.
But the harder path is the one you have to really take a step back.
I think you're in a position to say something like that. I mean, you did grow up Asian American, and you probably got the quote, "Hey, where are you from?" It's like, I'm fucking Brighton. I'm from, you
Yeah,
experience that racism, and it's like, for me to say something like that, it's like it's not, like if you say something like, why are you letting Asian identify you or holding you back? But that's something you can say. Like, I wouldn't say that because I'm not black. I'm not Asian. I wouldn't, it's not for me to check.
yeah, we can
You
always
know,
find some reason why we didn't, reach our potential.
mm,
But that's ultimately the answer. We can only answer ourselves in the darkest, in the darkest places,
right, right,
or brightest places.
right.
And that's something that when you talk about what I've been working on the last 4 to 5 years, being back here or even being in Nashville, um, or New York, like the humbling part is I think that's the biggest pill to swallow is accepting the challenge, like sports. Like, there are just people who are better than me. People are better songwriters, better piano players, better singers, better artists, better marketing people. And instead of, having resent or like change my attitude and say, okay, how do I do this? And,
Mm,
taking a step forward and say, hey, maybe you should call these people, reach out to them and ask them, and that's what I learned a lot too, was like a lot of people are willing to help, including myself,
mm,
but they just like to be asked. It's like, and I've made the mistake even in the last couple months of like, I'm never gonna give anybody advice ever again
yeah,
because
it's
unless because I've done that too many times.
yeah,
Like, screw that. Like, they're not gonna listen anyways.
yes.
Like, people are gonna listen to their own advice, but unless they really reach out.
That's the only time advice has ever worked out is when someone's really reaching out because they're looking for it.
And paying for
I
it.
have given
And paying for it.
unsolicited
Like, if they're
advice
gonna
before, and I don't
consult,
think it's ever worked out good.
that's another thing I've learned too, is sometimes when someone wants to give, say, get with me and hang out and give me, I don't have any shame in charging that person,
Mm,
because they're gonna value that meeting more
mm,
because we value
mm.
our money. And
Yeah,
that's the bottom line. If you take free advice, what I mean? It's sort of like when you give someone a CD, right? Rather than you charge somebody for the CD.
yeah,
I used to sell my CD at shows for $10, right? $10 for years. And I remember when I opened for Kev Mo, he taught me this. Like, he was giving me some advice, and I didn't understand it until like 10 years later.
yeah.
And I was his opening act, and I was selling these CDs for $10, and I sold a lot of them. But he
Sure.
was like, $10, and he'd say $20. And
Yeah,
it wasn't until like 5 to 10 years later when I realized he was trying to basically tell me that you're worth it.
you're putting worth on something. Yeah,
Don't undervalue yourself,
yeah,
and also don't undervalue your relationship with with the paying audience. Because anyway, he's just kind of basically saying that time is value.
hmm
I mean, not that you should put a price tag with everything. I get that, but not to go on a tangent.
No,
But
but this is a
I
valid
think
point. You got to. Yeah,
that's the thing I've valued more than anything is understanding the value of money and understanding that, because my father used to tell me, like, you grew up with money. You had money because my dad didn't have money, but I mean, if I ever was in a bind, my father and mother were there for me. But at this, so in a sense, I was a spoiled brat.
well,
The
yeah,
generation before, not to say that I didn't, whatever, I didn't work hard, but like, that's the thing about it, is understanding money and value, and how important that is.
yeah, yeah.
So I mean, I anyway, I'm not.
Is this a
Listen,
youth is wasted on the young conversation? Wish we can go back and take this knowledge now and go back and
man, I wish I could
all this shit.
go back and do a lot, but you can't. And it's better late than never. And all the things that you learn, you just. No, my dog is somewhere. He was.
Maybe before he was like, someone's trying to take me.
Monk, where are you? Where are you? I don't know where he went. I heard him. Monk. Anyway, but yeah, I think.
On the bright side, we some years have gone by, but we still both have a really good head of hair. Look at that.
I know. I still have it. It's
we both kind of have like an '80s cut going on. It took 30-something years for us to really get '80s hair.
I know. I'm actually I was trying to get a haircut this week, and my barber is not available until tomorrow. So I want to grow it out, but I'm going to get it cut. Yeah. It's more about like, taking care of yourself and all that stuff. But that's corny.
I just won't go out. I mean, I go out. I do what I got to do. I go to the store and I live life, but I'm not doing anything risky. I'm not going to get a haircut or anything like that. I just don't want to do it. Maybe in the summer when all the numbers were low, but right now I'm scared shit, man.
Are you? Yeah.
Fuck yeah! I was on a ventilator last year. I don't want to do that again. I've been there. I didn't have COVID, but I was on a fucking ventilator a year and a half ago. Like, so yeah, it's a terrible thing. You're just like, all right, we're going to put you under and you might not get up.
Yeah, maybe I might reconsider tomorrow morning about going to the bar.
I didn't want to,
for sure.
Everybody's masking up and doing it the right way. And, if we're aware, that's fine. It's just some of the extraneous stuff. We went to the greenery today and got some plants. And, I'm just not going to the Christmas party where nobody is wearing a mask. That's all I'm saying.
My friend Bill down in Kerrville, he said he was at the convenience store and there were 8 people in there and he was the only one wearing a mask. Even the person at the counter wasn't. So things are kind of weird in certain places.
Texas is getting hit and people behaving like that down there. It's beyond me.
Well, everybody, like I said, that some people's tolerance is just less than others, and some people kind of believe in that whole herd immunity. And it's, you can always, it's easy to, they're selfish. It's like certain people are selfish. Some people, again, until I see it in my convenience store, then I'll deal with the situation when I do. I went to the gym a couple days ago and everybody was wearing a mask. There were a couple people who were like not wearing it. And then I look again and then they had it, they had it hanging by the ear. So, but that the whole mask thing, of course, is I understand why people don't want to wear it. I understand the resistance. I understand why, like I don't want to say I don't understand. Like I'm trying to understand.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that I'm not going to wear mine.
Well, it's been just so politicized, It's just, I know we're preaching to the choir. It's been so politicized, and you really wish from day one, the guy in charge came out and said, "We're going through this pandemic. Just mask up, everybody, and we'll get through it together." It's just such a simple way, instead of taking this other combative direction of like, oh, it's a hoax, it's not real, it'll go away. Like you just because you don't. Now it's getting into this argument where people are saying, I'm not wearing a mask because it's my constitutional right to do so. And I agree with that. Yeah. Like it is your constitutional right not to wear a mask, but you're a freaking moron if you don't. And that's where I wish the guy on the top was like, oh yeah, no, it's not a law. It's not a law, but it's a really good idea.
I think that's the saddest part for me growing up as an American was that when the mask mandate came out, I was like, one side of me was thinking, well, if there's anybody who can get through this, it's America, right? The American in me. But then the other side of me, because I'm a Pisces, right? I'm entitled to that. The other side of me, the other half of me would say, if there's any country that will fail, it's America.
Yeah.
Because it's like that whole, we're just a bunch of, like Chris Rock says in his recent stand up. He said this is it's the general state of America, of that kind of like, I'm going to do whatever I want, or this is the freedom. It's my freedom.
Yeah.
And the lack of discipline too. Like I grew up I went to Boston Latin School. Oh, hold on, let me get the dog here. I know.
Hey, here comes Monk.
So he's wide awake.
Here
And
comes,
I grew up.
there he is.
I grew up, and it's like, you grow up, and I remember, there was always a bunch of kids who were. I was a nerd. I was a nerdy student. I was good at. I never understood when teachers would say, "Here's your assignment for tonight," because I would do my homework as soon as I got home. I didn't understand the idea of doing homework at night. My parents, we were eating dinner and then we were watching TV. Like, you do your work first, and that's the classic case of like America, in a way of, let's have fun first, and then we'll work it later,
and then maybe get the thing done.
I guess in short, it's sort of like, where's the discipline, right? There's no willpower. There's no patience. There's no, I want it now. I want my freedom now. And then I'll put on my mask later. So, it does bother me that it has gotten so politicized. You know what I mean? Like, it's, if you're a Republican or that's what bothers me, because if you really look specifically to certain people, there's probably a lot of Democrats who are not wearing masks, and there are a lot of Republicans who are wearing masks. You know what I'm saying? There are many exceptions to the rule.
The biggest Dems are keep getting nailed left and right. The Nancy Pelosi's and the governor of California's, they all wear the mask, and then they get caught in public at some party or some shit. That it's almost like, listen, it's almost like at least Republicans are wearing it on their sleeve. At least they're being honest.
Yeah.
Even if their honesty is disgusting.
Yeah, they're going to be people who, again, I've been, if anything, this is the crazy thing, is that, having declared myself a Democrat, and let's keep it real. I've been a Democrat, and but very, very recently, listening to online, people who are Republicans, and hearing what their point of view was and why they voted a certain way, or why they didn't vote at all, because they were like, they didn't want to vote for, they didn't want to reelect this guy, but they certainly didn't want to vote for Biden Harris.
No.
You understand, if people really, and that's the thing. Like, I didn't put myself out there. I mean, no offense to anybody here, but I wasn't all like Biden Harris. Sorry, because I saw the horror that, it's more of the same. It's like the same. So
that's right. I remember being very into with when Al Gore ran and Nader ran, and that was what, 2000. So here we are, you and I. We're in Boston. You were in Boston 2000, right? It was definitely, and you kind of wanted to vote for a Nader or something like that, and but I kind of feel like
for Nader. I did vote for Nader.
Right? Yeah. I don't remember if I did or not. I think I voted for Gore, but still, I feel like there's got to be this. That's why you want the 3 or 4 or 5 party system, because I feel like if there was some, I hear you about, like, there are some Republican points of view where I go like, yeah, all right, I'm on board with that. And I feel like if there's some weird smashing together of like a green and libertarian party, that might be my human.
You got to, I mean, you know this. Ultimately, I like, not to delve on it, but it is about money. People do not want to pay higher taxes. That's the bottom line for people, because it is the bottom line for people who are middle class like myself. That's the thing. on paper, I should vote Republican because I'm paying a lot of taxes. I work my ass off. So, like, it's the classic case of, and that's why I'm not saying speak for Asian Americans, but as growing
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
my parents were like, we made it. Why can't you? That's the class. It's not that they don't want to share. They want to share with their people in China. They want to bring the people, and they did. My parents brought like 4 families over from mainland China to make it in America. They lived in our freaking basement.
Yeah.
Okay. And they worked at our parents' restaurant. And they, until they attained their citizenship, whatever. But they worked their butts off. Then they paid their taxes. And my parents did not want to pay higher taxes. So they voted for the president who was going to lower the taxes, not raise the taxes so that other people could, in a cliche way, live off of the handout. And growing up in Boston, that's the thing. That's the argument, will always be the argument, was that I grew up and I saw a lot of lazy people to my right and my left going to Boston Latin School. I knew I was working harder than other people. Okay. So if you take it a step forward and you see people, are those the same people who are basically, living off of my hard work? So that's the argument. Now, remember, I did, I'm not a Republican. So the argument will always be like, yeah, why, and so I have family who are Republicans. So there it is. See, Tim Mason, the taxes thing is a red herring. Do you want to pay higher healthcare premiums instead of paying taxes to public health? That's a complicated thing too, because I have mass health.
Right. And the answer to, of course, the answer.
Myopic. What does that mean? Myopic. Just lower taxes is myopic. What does that mean?
I think the problem is historically is like they haven't been able to get that done. So it's like a lot. Sometimes a Dem comes into office and your taxes go up, and they've barely been able to get this healthcare thing. Like they're not Dems are not the Green Party. They're Dems, and they're bought and sold as much as any Republican is. And it's like, so like the answer to Tim's question is, yeah, obviously you want to have good public health and some, and pay reasonable taxes, but it's not happening.
I definitely agree with, I've been to Europe, and I definitely wish that there was a universal healthcare system. And the argument will always be if you want to talk about the red herring, like Tim is talking about the red herring, let's face it, we pay 51% of our taxes to the military. And if you talk, no politician ever talks against the military. If you talk and say, take away money from the military, it's the same. The smaller subject is like defunding the police.
Yeah.
Because that's a small version, a microcosm of the military. If you defund the military, if you took a fraction of that military money, that a lot of billions of dollars, trillions could go take that money, not the billionaires. That's what Bernie Sanders talks about. But anyway, the point is that if you reallocate the money a certain way, then you're seen as unpatriotic. And I'm not talking about me as a citizen, because I can say whatever I want, but I'm talking about the politicians. That's the argument, is that they will never bite the hand that feeds them.
Right.
That's why they're politicians, man. I would like to be able to allocate the tax dollar I pay. Yeah, I mean, so I wish that we could try it. It would be great if we could just try a month of universal health care and just to see what the numbers are. But they're never going to show you the real numbers, because if people really it's complicated. It's so complicated because remember, you have all these, it's like citizens, like say like China. Let's talk about China for a second. They talk, I think like Hong Kong, you have to understand that a lot of people, the people of power that own, all right, I don't know enough about China, Hong Kong, truthfully. Let's talk about United States. It's like if the millionaires and billionaires, the tech people that run the companies and stuff, they're the ones who have the leverage. They're the ones who can decide how much taxes they want to pay. And if they decided that they wanted to leave the United
They don't
States,
want to pay, really.
like if they move, then the economy could really go to sink. And that's anyway. I don't know crap. I'm a musician, man. I don't, I wish I could explain, but I do. Of course, I'm willing to pay more taxes. Of course, I'm willing to until I feel like it's too much. And
right.
See, I don't know the numbers, and I don't make nearly as much as what certain people make. Right?
Of course,
that's the complicated thing.
Yeah,
that's the. It's such a tricky thing because there are people, the elephant in the room. There are people who pay whatever, like $3,000 a month in healthcare for their families. Now, if you're making $1 million a year, that's nothing. But if you have 3 kids, I can't afford that, and and there's even more gray area because then there's the middle class people who make say $60,000 a year and they got 3 kids and they're paying ridiculous. I don't know how the numbers can really how it adds up for other people. I can't speak for I can only speak for myself. And again, the complicated thing will always be like, do you want to pay more taxes? I mean, another person brought this up. Like, look how cheap gas has been. I mean, you got to see, that will be another argument. If someone say, all right, now you have Biden, watch gas go up to $3 a gallon. There's always something to complain about.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
And someone will always be, see, I told you, gas, you should have reelected him.
Do you have any opinion on who, like, the next? I hear all these arguments, and it's like, you talk about Republicans and Democrats, and it's like, and we want to this new progressive person that if they're going to raise taxes, they're also going to give us, they will raise taxes and they will make healthcare much more available to everybody and give, universal healthcare, that kind of thing. Start voting for climate change. And like Bernie was your guy. Bernie was your guy 4 years ago. He's still your guy today. And his legs got taken right out from underneath him. I mean, Bernie was taken out by both parties. I
really think that. See, again, the argument will always be, it doesn't add up. How does it add up? Because he didn't. His argument was never all the way. He never went specific. Maybe he tried it. Maybe if he had that platform, if he was finally given the candidacy, if he was given. Right. He would have gone for it. But the mainstream media squashed him. They didn't want him.
Everybody squashed him.
Because they're sponsored by Walmart. They're sponsored by Starbucks.
Bernie's legs got swept harder than that dude in karate and Ralph Macchio. They swept
Cobra Kai
leg. Yeah. Bernie went, I'm going down. Help me, somebody get me up.
There are higher powers at. Let's see. Tim says the tax deal has raised taxes for lower income baked in, phasing out credits. Biden will be blamed. Yep.
Well, Tim is chiming in on this stuff. Tim is an expert.
He knows more than I do.
Literally an accountant. So.
He's an accountant. They're both. They're Democrats and Republicans. They're different. For sure. And more importantly, the people that vote for either person are different. How will it affect my day tomorrow? How will it, I'm still going to pay my taxes. I see what I have to pay. My accountant tells me what I owe. And I pay it. And I pay it. And I pay and I pay. I pay my bills. I pay it until the money runs out. Mm-hmm. That's just how it goes. Mm-hmm. That's how it is until I run out of dough. And in the meantime, I try to keep a smile on my face. I try to mow my lawn. I try to take care of this guy. I try to feed him. He's got to take a crap soon. And then, and then I'll take a crap soon. You'll take a crap soon.
In the meantime, though, I do think, there's always going to be somebody out there who's going to tell you to shut up and play. But I do think it's important for artists. I do think it's important.
And they have a point.
Yeah.
Everybody has their point, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Right?
You have songs like "Don't Drink the Water," right?
Yeah, that's right.
I still think it's important as artists to keep putting that stuff out there, and to keep saying these things. I mean, you don't want to become obsessed by it, like you mentioned earlier. You don't want to completely identify you, but I think it's important that we keep putting it out there.
Yeah, I wrote a song called "The Coronavirus Blues" that I recorded. I wrote a song called "Mask" recently. I wrote a song. I have a song called "Uniform World." I've got a lot of songs that haven't been officially recorded or released. And again, it's, I pick my spots. It depends on the time. Obviously, if I was gigging all the time and out there like 20 years ago, yeah, these songs would be heard and I'd be out there. But at the same time, I guess I'm also in a different phase in my life, personally and professionally, and I've got to keep my own sanity and my own health. If I can't take care of myself, I can't. I'm useless to everybody else, and that's the way I look at it.
Nobody. Right?
Well,
you're preaching to the choir, man. I almost didn't get a second chance. So last year,
you don't take care of yourself, and that's the most important thing is your health. And as you get older, and the career, I feel for people out there who have managers and booking agents and people that they are responsible for.
Mm-hmm.
Besides their dog and their family, like they have employees, and that goes all through down the line, right? My parents, I grew up in a restaurant, so thank God that we don't have that restaurant anymore. Because if we did, we may have gone under.
Yeah.
And that, so I feel for so many small businesses that are just, they're not making it. I feel for artists, who are not making it, and I don't know what's going to happen. It's that post-apocalypse. It's like Blade Runner. It's like all those things that you see in those post-apocalyptic movies.
Yeah.
I mean, how you guys are coping, because I don't know. I don't know how it adds up for you, but I know that
we're getting crushed. We're starting to crunch numbers to see how long it'll last, savings and all that stuff. I mean, listen, like I said, I have a different point of view on it because I'm still alive, so I'm grateful.
Right.
For anybody who's still listening who doesn't know, I had like a major health stumble about a year and a half ago. So it's funny because all the songs I've written that are like apocalyptic, I wrote before COVID. So I got it all out of my system, and then COVID hits. I'm like, I got a whole chapter on that. Like I don't need to write songs. I just kind of write it out,
And that's the thing. And I think that's the important thing for me lately has been the intention. Like I think the biggest thing for me lately is actually that movie Social Dilemma really changed my life. I'm kind of going through a social media phase. Because it did affect me because I've gone through plenty of depression, and like the number of likes is not my currency. I keep telling myself that it's not my currency, and the amount of followers on Instagram, there will always be somebody who is more followers than me, and there will always be somebody who has less followers than me, and that's the important thing to remember. But you get yourself so caught up in it that when you watch a movie like Social Dilemma and the way algorithms work, it's just something that I have had to, and it's hard. That is hard to do, is putting your phone down. Like I haven't looked at my phone in over the last 2 hours, which is great, but I've had to work towards this moment. You understand? And lately it's been, don't look at your phone an hour before you go to bed. That's hard to do. People are usually looking at their phone as they're going to bed.
Can't do it.
You can do it. Try it.
I mean,
you can do it. Everybody
trying to do it.
I recommend it to everybody who's watching now.
Not that anybody needs to know what my sleep
habits. But anyways,
the only way I get to sleep the last 30 years is to put on a movie I've seen a million times and fade away.
I'm gonna take some melatonin tonight. I don't know about melatonin. I haven't taken melatonin in a minute, but
You know what? I can't.
melatonin.
Everything, everything that's meant to put you, make you sedate. I can't take it.
Oh, you can't?
Yeah, it has
Does it help you?
like the reverse reaction. In the
Oh,
hospital.
really?
Yeah, they were desperately trying to
Beat
get
you
me
up.
to fall to. They were desperately trying to knock me out. Nothing, Prozac. Nothing they gave
Yeah.
me worked. It made my start to do this, and it's like
Yeah.
even about like about 10 years ago, I just stopped smoking pot. I can't even smoke pot anymore.
Yeah.
I haven't found a pot that relaxes me. And as a kid, smoke all the time. I can't do it. It's really fucking strange. Can't. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I haven't had alcohol since January.
Mm.
And I haven't smoked or done any weed in almost a month. And I'm really trying to be 100% sober, to be honest with you.
It's a good place to be.
It really is.
Pandemic. I mean, what are you drinking for if you just stuck at home? I was sober for a year, and then about when COVID hit, I was gonna
Yeah.
like, all right, you know what? It's been a year. I'm gonna have a drink. It's been a year of like I had a stroke. I recovered. It's like, oh, let me
I know.
celebrate. Let me introduce a glass of wine back into this equation. And then COVID hit, and then I'm like, well, why the fuck am I gonna start drinking now? so it's been like almost
Yeah.
2 years. I'm pushing 2 years with not drinking.
Wow, that's great. I mean,
Much longer.
if you know yourself, only you can answer that. And for myself, it's like before I start giving advice to anybody,
Mm.
I really need to, um, you know, feel good about myself and be the best version of myself. And
Yeah.
I'm not there yet. I'm getting there
Well,
with everything that
you've always kept yourself in good physical health. You're in good shape. You've always been a gym, like even when years ago when we used to, when we were younger and I was just skinny and in good shape just because of my age, not because of anything I did. And maybe because I walked the city a lot as, with the musician and going to Faneuil Hall and playing the
Oh, yeah.
street, stuff like that. But
Yeah.
you've always, like, I remember, like, I have a show tonight. I got to go to the gym first. I gotta get the body up. I gotta, you've always kept good care. You don't. There's no plateaus. There's no rises and falling with. So you.
It comes and goes. I've had back problems, and that's the thing about it is I think the most important for me has been my brain, the muscle there,
Mm.
and I doing yoga. I've been doing yoga for the last 5 years, and it's definitely been the best thing I've ever done for my life. But then I had this back pain, hip pain for the last 2 weeks, and I'm like, maybe it was yoga. And,
Right.
who knows what it was? But at the end of the day, is just being aware of my body and taking care of that,
Mm.
and going to bed early. Like me for a long time, I was going to bed like at 3 a.m. for years, and now I'm going to bed like getting ready to go to bed at 7:30.
Oh man, especially this year. Because what the fuck else are you gonna do?
Well, it's been like kind of like I'm not saying that I fall asleep. I'm saying is that I try to go to be in my bedroom by 7:30,
Yeah.
and then it ends up being like say 10, and then I end up falling asleep at midnight. But eventually, I start falling asleep at 10 or 11. The point is that I'm up at 6, and that's good. I'm up at 6.
Yeah.
I'm getting stuff done by 10.
Yeah.
And then I'm tired by 7 or 8 o'clock.
It's
And
funny
it's
the things you
crazy.
get excited about these days. It's
I'm
like
not sold. Yeah, those are the exciting things in my life. But of course, like last night, because I wanted to be awake for tonight, I kind of moved my schedule and stayed up till midnight. So
amazing. Only an 8 o'clock start. Like 8 o'clock start was early in our world.
It's early for you. It's early for you. It's early for me too, of course. But yeah, my life is changed
Yeah.
a lot in the last 4 to 5 years. But it doesn't mean permanently. It just means it's like temporarily because I've always been. I'm an artist first, as corny as it is. So like whatever I'm working on, everything is sort of slave to that. And, so if I'm working on a record, whatever that style is, everything kind of falls research to that.
Yeah.
As weird as it is. So I don't know how to explain it until after that project is completed.
Yeah.
And then I can look back and go, because I want to be able to look back after that project is completed and be able to retrace my steps and know that I did all the right things. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to, like, it's like behind the music. You want to look back at that episode, that chapter, and know that you didn't, you weren't out, screwing around. And I think that everybody has to make certain sacrifices, and that's the one thing I was listening to. Check out As a Man Thinketh. If you've never listened to that, it'll only take about an hour of your time. But it's you can listen to it on YouTube, but it's called As a Man Thinketh. It's like really, really powerful stuff. It's before, like all that's like The Secret and all that stuff. This is all before that stuff. But I'm not giving you advice. I'm not giving anyone advice. I'm just telling you guys what I'm into. There are 11 people watching, so that's cool. Did anybody have any questions? I see the chat here. All I see is Tim.
Yeah, Tim's hanging with us.
Tim's hanging out with us.
Tim hates me right now. I got to get some material to him, and I haven't done it. I'm a slacker.
Oh.
Yeah.
Material? What do you mean, like?
Yeah, we're putting together the show at the end of January. That he's speaking of the Zoom thing you were talking about earlier. In the show, he's got a whole thing where he's got a show and a Zoom, and you can actually do branch off rooms where people can go and chat and ask artists questions, that kind of thing. We're doing one. I think it's the last Sunday or Saturday in January. I'm going to do just to basically, a get together. It's going to be benefit for the Beth Israel hospitals. You're
just ignoring me.
I'm not. I swear to God, I'm not.
You're trolling, Tim.
I'm just a slacker.
Tim, my email is me@kevinso.com. Me@kevinso.com.
Yeah. But he's got a great thing he's doing is with the what's it called, the 8:30 Club.
Okay.
Going on. Yeah.
Why is it called the 8:30 Club? Because it's at 8:30?
I'm not really sure, actually.
In the morning?
It might be an old Vienna reference. I don't know. Tim, I get the feeling Tim will answer that question in like 5, 4, 3.
He's typing now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, but we're doing a burn one the end of January. So it's just gonna be like one song, chat like this, and have a bunch of artists, and it's a benefit. It's gonna go with Beth Israel's. When I was in the hospital, the doctors obviously, like, they save your life, right? They come in, they look at. I was in a fucking coma, and they're looking at my brain scans, and they're like, okay. Because the first one was booked on his birthday. Yeah. So, the doctors save your lives, but the nurses there, like, I woke up from this fucking thing after 10 days of being out, and the nurses, and I couldn't move my whole side, and they have to pick you up, and the unmentionables, and just have the alarms go off, and they're working 12 hours. They work 12-hour shifts, 12 hours on, 12 hours off, 12 hours on, like. A lot of them, they were doing 12-hour shifts every day, like 4 days in a row. So that means they only had 12 hours to go home, take a fucking shower, go to sleep, wake up, eat their breakfast, and come back and be a nurse again. It's like they're like, it's angels in sneakers is what I was calling them. So like I just before COVID hit, I was starting to put together something that was going to be I was figuring out if it was going to be a scholarship fund or some sort of fund. I wanted to do something where funds went directly to these nurses somehow, Yeah. So for now, there's a thing at Beth Israel called the Special Nurses Fund. So I did a whole week of in the round shows, Christmas time, in between Christmas and New Year's, a dead space where it's always hard to get shows. I did in the rounds every night with a bunch of different artists. Schwartz and Neil did one. Neil Eckstein.
Yeah.
And I donated all the money to the Beth Israel Special Nurses Fund. So we're going to do it for that too. Because right before COVID, I was trying to do something where, I have this concert series. I have this ability to do benefits here, and like even when ticket sales, because the ticket might be $21.35, and I could say, would you like to donate the rest of your change to the Special Nurses Fund, that kind of thing. I was just starting to set all that up, and then fucking COVID hit and everything's off the rails, and I gotta go. I gotta get back on it, But we're gonna do that show. Write a check at the end. I really just want a charity that buys nurses granola bars, basically. just like an unlimited supply of power bars for nurses. That's all I want.
Yeah, I love that you have a purpose, and that you're looking to give. I think that's such a beautiful thing, and kind of that's what it's about.
Mm.
And yeah, I mean, that's something that I aim to do more, and for sure,
Well, man, you give
give and teach, educate, and involve myself in raising money, and
You've always, anytime someone's asked you to do something like that, I've known you to do benefits for any, like, yeah, I'll show up, I'll do it. We've known each other a long time. I've known you've always done that. That's what's heartbreaking for this, COVID thing for me personally. I got this concert series. I'm in my 5th year, and it's like, and it's working, and it's doing great. And like you said, first it almost killed me. And then I got back on track. And then I'm like, okay, this thing's doing good. To not even just the charity, but to have this room that's doing well, where I can take care of friends. Like Kevin So's moving back to Boston, needs a place to plant his flag again and fucking launch a career right his hometown, after crushing Brooklyn and crushing Nashville and being all, fuck yeah, sure, man. Like it breaks my heart that I don't have that right now. It will come back though. Like, just stay in the core and it will come back,
Yeah, I think that it's important. Well, I think that's kind of been my MO, has been just to be ready, just to get ready. Make sure that you're ready to come out like gangbusters, and you know what I mean? Like, bring your A game, because everybody's, instead of falling by the wayside, because it's easy to do that. And I think we live in an age where everything is at our fingertips. We have a lot of resources available that are free. And there's plenty to be pissed off about, and there's plenty to be discouraged about.
Sure.
But on the other side of it, there's a lot of time, and that's been what I've been trying to do is use my time productively. And a big part of it for me has been also just, obviously just, I'm not going to be on the whole, like, I won't delve into it, but trying to be, staying sober is important thing for me right now. Not having any alcohol, it was a conscious decision, because I was like, before COVID, it was just more like, I got really drunk, and I thought, this is a good time. That's the last taste I want to have for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe it. I was going to say, I can't believe I've been, but see, that's that, they call it the insanity, right? But like, but everybody has their own triggers, and, smoking weed, and that's something I want to kind of take on right now. It's like, they decriminalized it recently, right? Federally, they decriminalized, and so you're like, oh, good, now it's a good reason to get high, and it's actually, see, again, that's the easy thing to do. The hard thing to do is to say, you know what, it's actually a good time to not indulge.
Well, I won that fight. Let me move on.
Yeah. So that's just me again. But again, everybody has their own way of coping. I'm just for myself, uh, like I really want to, I feel like I have bigger and better things on my horizon, and I want to do more as far as like giving to community and things like that. But I realize like I'm being such a hypocrite if like anyway, I don't want to like I don't want to tell you what I want to do. I just want to do it.
Right.
So
Well, whatever,
that's just all
whatever,
talk until you really do it. So
whatever
I'll just
keeps
shut up.
you making music, because you're one of those artists. I mean, you have to keep making music because it's so ingrained in your DNA. You really
Yeah.
are just a special player. Like it's funny. I've watched you rule. I've watched you run stages, big stages, small stages. I've watched you put on shows for years. And and even like the one night I did see you at the Somerville Theater playing for Keb Mo.
Yeah.
You were just a consummate professional. Like, I know you can steal a show. I've seen you just light up rooms, and
Oh,
just the second you hit the stage, the audience sits back and go, oh, like, I've opened for you a bunch of times, and nobody was really comfortable until you played your first song. Like, and that's not a knock on me. It's just like, you're like, okay, the opener, okay, is my dinner right? Okay, do I have my seat? And it's like, it's the second you hit that first song, it's like, all right, the captain of the ship is here, and you're going to run the night, and it's your turn. And you're one of those artists, but like a lot of artists have this part, but not this part, and this part, but not this part. I mean, you've got it, man. You've got the work ethic,
okay.
and you've got the talent, and you've got the songs, and you've got the presence on stage and the comfort. So, like, whatever behind the scenes you have to do to make that work, by all means, man, it's just nothing like you ever have to like apologize for. It's like, I'm all about listening to that process. Sure, tell me what you do. What's Kevin So's secret? You know what I'm saying? I'm all about it. So, thanks for the insights, and
I,
thanks for everything tonight, man. Appreciate it.
my pleasure. I have a lot of work to do. I still have a lot of work to do, but
And that's what makes you good.
this is part of that process, right?
Yeah.
This is just part of the journey, and I'm just I'm glad that it kind of this is by the way, I'm going to rearrange. Tomorrow is like a big move. I'm moving my whole setup to another room, and
Mm.
like so it's like a important. This is I don't know how to explain it. This is like a like a religious experience. Is the last day of a phase. I've had this room set up
Mm.
in a certain way for I think about 6 months. And it's been the studio and
Mm.
over the summer and all through COVID, and now it moves to another phase. So this is kind of like a good way to kind
Well,
of to
we were
close out the
talking
chapter.
at the beginning of COVID. We were talking about getting together and doing a little campfire thing. Daniel
Oh,
and I, we just moved, so we've been pretty much pinned with this apartment.
I
We're
know.
like getting contractors in here and stuff, and painting and moving. Like, we moved in June 1st. We closed in April 28th, and it's been a mess. But when the weather gets back to the spring like stuff, we got to do that last stretch of the mask wearing COVID days where we're just about to break out. We got to get out there to your place and do the campfire in the background, a little song circle.
Yeah, I'd like to do that. I was doing that regularly in Nashville. I even did a thing called a Solar Palooza, where I'd have multiple bands, and then we'd have songwriter in the rounds in between the bands, and then that was more the evening time.
Mm.
The drummer or bass player would come in, but in the daytime we'd have a song circle in the living room, and the first song would start around 4 o'clock, and it'd be a potluck. People would just, we'd have all kinds of food and just good times, very laid back, and we get a nice house full of people, songwriters, and then have a jam throughout the night, and it became a really special time in my life in Nashville.
I think
I
I think
really want to do that up here, and I had one scheduled. I remember having one last year. I know, like, I reached out to you guys, and I think Carl, and a few other people that I knew. Like, I wanted some great songwriters. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted to at least have, yeah, that guy, that dude. I wanted to make sure that I had some solid songwriters, so that the round, was good. It wasn't like, because it's always like always a few other people who come over and like play some song. It's like, well, that's awkward. Awkward. You're like, dude, that's all right. Carl, play us a song. He'd save us.
yeah,
Carl was there or whatever. But anyway, it's all love. We'll get to it. It'll happen.
we'll get to it.
I hope so. Next year, it's gonna happen.
I think that's a good place to leave it, man. What do you say?
Yeah. Yep.
Monk for that last walk of the night.
Yeah. It's pretty good. Thanks so much.
Good luck.
We've gone to almost 3 hours.
Yeah, we've been on for a while. It's
Yeah.
the live stream of consciousness vibe. I like this format. It's good.
Yeah.
If anybody's still out there listening and tuning in, thank you so much for being with us tonight. And I saw a lot of these shows will always stay free throughout COVID, because I know a lot of people are hurting. But if you are one of them folks who's working and has the money they would normally have and would normally spend it on the concert out there, by all means, donate to the cause. This is how bad at promotion of that type I am. I should have been saying this all show, but I get lazy and I'm terrible at asking for money. I guess I'm doing it now in the third hour. But
yeah.
But it, like I said, it's these shows will stay free. And thank you so much, Kevin, man. You're the best.
Hey, you're the best. Monk's the best. Monk, you want to sing us out?
Woo!
Woo! Sing! Woo!
Like, now you bring me on.
Woo! One more. Woo!
Did you say Monk just had a birthday?
Woo! One more. Woo! There it is. There it is.
Thanks, man.
Thank
Have a
you.
good night. Good night, Monk.
Happy
Bye.
holidays.